In this session, I'll run through the AppDynamics UCC integration. So the agenda will be architecture overview, how the AppD is integrated with our UCC component. Then I will run through the demo use case. There are a few use cases that have been built specific to AppD monitoring for UCC. Then we'll have a Q&A question. So as I run through the demo, just mark your questions, and once the demo is done, we will have the I'll take the questions and answer most of them. And if not, we will go back to the team and get this answered. So to start with, this is the UCC architecture with which the AppD monitoring is integrated. If you see, we have the UCC components, which includes the ITM servers, Finis, CVP, VVP, etc. So UCC on-prem, and currently it is integrated with the AppD cloud in the SaaS environment. So we integrate our lab systems with the cloud AppD solution. It has a few integration points, like how the AppD agent connects with our UCC component. So there are 4 AppD agents that is called as machine agent, Java agent, .NET agent, and DB agent. If you see the machine agent, it runs as an independent JVM process. This is used for hardware and server monitoring. So more of a server health check. For example, spike in CPU, RAM, etc. All the general hardware and server-related monitoring will be done by the machine agent. So the machine agent collects the feeds and reports to the AppD SaaS. And the next is the Java agent. So Java agent, again, it is used for monitoring the Java-based application. In CCE, Java agent is used for CVP application. So all the CVP-specific servers will have the Java agent. Then the .NET agent is to monitor the .NET application, can also used for any custom application-specific performance counter. When I say the performance counter, this is for the UCC performance monitoring, like the business transactions, like how many agents logged in, what is the number of calls in VRU, how many calls currently queued, abandoned calls. To collect all these performance counter, we have the .NET agent in all the machines installed. So if you see this architecture, all these components, if you see, for example, the AWHDS, this has the DB agent. So DB agent, again, monitors specific database. AppD also have the support to monitor MS SQL, MongoDB, MySQL, etc. But currently it doesn't support any WAS-based DB monitoring, like how we have the Finis, CUIC, and the CUCM. But it does monitor the SQL DBs. So in our case, it will be the AWHDS and the Logger database. And this is the AppD Club. So with this, I will just move on to the demo section. So this is the access. So I have to connect to the AppD SaaS controller. I do have an account.
We are not seeing browser screen.
How about now, Cisco?
Yeah.
So as soon as you log in, you have the home view where we get the more of a overall dashboard overview of what are the components integrated, etc. So let me first start with the holistic overview of all the servers, how it gets integrated. So that will be under the server section. In the server section, if you see this, these are the UCC components that have been integrated. And if you see a specific component, say for example, I'll go into the CEP. What it does monitor is the total availability of the servers, memory, CPU spikes, network errors. So this is more to list the process and utilization, and also to observe the latency, CPU spike, and any other alerts specific to the server, right? So this also gives you the top 10 process which consumes the highest CPU. This is just a dashboard view, and on the process, it lists down the process that runs from the system. So say, for example, this also gives all the Windows specific process that runs on the system. Let me take a UCC server example. Let me take the logger for now. If you see the UCC process as well, the routers, the logger process, etc. that also can be displayed. And I mean, this gives you how long this process is running. If in case any of these process is down, you see a state as marked in red as X, which means that the process is down, and we can also set alerts and threshold based on the process. Next, on the volumes, again, as I said, more of a health check. What is the utilization of the storage of these each drives that is configured? We also get the high-level network adapter configuration that is integrated as well. These containers is something specific to Docker containers, etc. So for UCCE, we don't have that. So we don't get any feeds for this container. And if you see the health check, right now you can see multiple color coding which is available. If the server is good, it gives you colored in red. And if there is any issues with any of the process, let me just take the logger as an example again. And if you see the health, it shows an alert, right? And in the alert, just to see what is the alert it shows. So it says memory usage is too high. So by default, the system is set for a 75% threshold. And once the threshold is greater than 75%, the alert is being thrown out. So this is customizable. We have the alert and respond option. Go and set specific alert levels in health rules. Say I'll take for this particular CPU usage. If you see the critical condition when to throw an error. So if it is exceeding 90% of that particular CPU percentage, it sends a critical alert. And warning criteria is set as 75%. So this gives you the holistic view of all our UCC servers that can be added to this. So this runs with the machine agent of the AppD properties. Next, I'll go to the application flow map. So as you know that UCC application connects with multiple third-party applications, right? For example, we have the DB dips, HTTP connection where the customer data needs to be fetched via an IVR, and those data will be collected, and you can see a transactional flow map. So this is the transactional flow map. Let me just have it for last 2 weeks. So how our system is connecting with other third-party application and how the business transactions and feeds are collected. Okay, so this is the VXML server. So in our case, if you see this VXML server getting connected into multiple other third-party applications. Say, for example, we have an external MS SQL. We do have a connect to the Exchange servers. We do have connect to other third-party online services and gadgets, etc. So this holistic view is recognized, and it shows you a transactional flow map, how our system is doing. And we also have the options to see if there are any errors hitting, and this also helps you to give some specific third-party application that is not working as expected. So this is from the Finesse side. If you see our Finesse, it connects to multiple third-party gadgets. So we have the CUIC Connect. This is for the live data. We do have the AWS Connect and Cloud Connect, Informatics Database, etc. So multiple third-party applications that is getting connected. We do have the application flow map option, which gives you the holistic view of it. And the flow map is generated dynamically based on the application load. So every week, based on the connectivity of these servers to different applications, the flow map will be deferred, and we'll have a different view to all these connections, okay? And it also gives you the load, any specific server health hazard, how the transaction is scored. Is it normal? Is it very slow? Or do we have any specific errors during this transaction will be reported in the flow map description. I'll just show you the tiers and nodes, how it is connected. So this also gives you the view of different services and process the system connects. If you see the web service manager, again, this is a CVP one. This runs with the Java agent. It shows the uptime, how the servers are working, and it also gives you the health check options. We can also have a specific performance counter set where we have the metric browser configuration where we see how the total application of each of these servers is working. Say, for example, I take a Finesse, and if you see the custom matrix, it gives you specific data of how many agents logged in, how the call metrics is, how many dialer calls has been dialed out. Those metrics will also be visible. So, say for example, abundant call count. So, if I have a dialer process running and we have the campaign running with multiple contacts out, and what we can also perform and see how many abundant calls are being notified, etc. So this gives you the more of a business transactions specific to each of these components, and this can be displayed on the dashboard with regular metrics like how many calls reported, etc. I'll take you to the dashboard section, right? So this is the dashboard options. So I have created few dashboards. Let me just first run the ICM service dashboard. This gives you, this is a customizable dashboard so that gives you the number of process and services running in specific to our ICM service. So say, for example, we can also have the redundancy failover. So as of now, we have integrated one side where if any of these services goes down, we have the alert mechanism to update the technical team, like this particular service is down. So this is just one of the specific dashboard reports. So we can also have custom dashboards similar to this, where it reports, say, let me just put it for last 3 days. So this gives how the UCC health, more of specific to servers, how it reported for last 3 days. So BT health means how the business transactions were. So it gives you the VXML calls per minute, how the Finance desktops connect, specific health violations that happen, and if there is any specific action needs to be performed, that can be done. Also, we have the VXML and CEP incoming, outgoing network IO. Again, those are configurable. So in this customized dashboard, we have an option to add our contact center metrics like call volume, dropped calls, abandoned calls, how many calls in progress, calls in queue. So these are customizable, and we do have a lot of contact center metrics available that we can add it to this and have a specific report run specific to the data that is collected from the UCCE. Now I'll just move on to the analytics section. The analytics section also works based on the application and the Java agent. So if you see this analytics section, this has the transaction summary, how your contact center was performing. So I've just selected the last 3 days. If you see, there were total how many transactions, 26,000 transactions in last 3 days. And we can also have an highlight of what are the problematic transactions, normal transactions. So this is from the application UCCE. So this analytics gets the data from the application which we have integrated. The AppD also captures call error codes. I mean, it also gives you the, simplifies the root cause analysis. So for specific transactions. So I created some multiple searches. Say, for example, I do have a VXML error. So what happens is, if I have to see a specific error in the system, say mismatch of waves or a bad fetch, etc., I do have an option. So this can be a query language that can be added and query specific servers that has been integrated. So let me just take this example. So it says file not found. Okay. As you drill down, you see more details specific to the transaction data. So in this case, there was specific CVP application that has been invoked, and the user experience is error, which means that either the user call got dropped, terminated, or they would have heard an error prompt that has been played. And if you see this says connection refused, unable to connect. Maybe it was searching for a specific prompt that was not able to play, etc. And similarly, we do have other 404 errors or 403 errors that usually happens with the contact center environment. So let me just take the error code from here. Yeah, let's take this example as 404. So I believe this is more to do with the Java, the prompt fetch. If you see this, they were trying to play a specific music, and maybe that specific data was not available when it was played, and it gives an update back as 404. So this level of root cause analysis can be done, and it also simplifies our troubleshooting for specific error. As you know, we will have multiple prompts in an entire bigger contact center, which some of these can give user experience, bad user experience, as well as most of drop calls. So this analytical helps you to get these transaction results, and we also have how the, say for example, how many ANIs have been called, what was their experience, was it normal, very slow, did the user have a right response to the queries, those can be also fixed. So this is most to do with the business transactions that happens with the system, and it all comes from the application. And I was told this analytical hold data for last 2 or 3 weeks. So it is recommended to have last 2 weeks data to be queried rather than the large chunk of data. And finally, I also wanted to show you the remote worker monitoring. So this is with the user experience. So again, See, the user experience, so this gives you the path information of an agent desktop. So today, the system, most of the contact centers are running remote, and there are a lot of user performance issues like the finesse not loading, the gadget not loading, unable to take calls. We have the red banners issue, etc. Right? So AppD have the mechanism to connect with the specific remote users based on the browser settings. This is done by the JavaScript that has been added to the finesse root code. So if this is the right now I've integrated the finesse specific, and we have agents logged in to multiple locations. If you see, we have 2 countries. It also reports the country from where the agent connected, and say United States as well as India. So let me put it for last 1 month. You can also drill down specific to the countries. Say if it is going to be United States, it also reports based on the state where the agent is connected. So in this way, say we have users located in multiple locations, we can track down. And with this, most probably can be user loading a web page will have an issue, or any domain-specific resources slowing, or any JavaScript would be the most of this case, right? So those can be monitored. So if I go to a browser snapshot, that is the load for last 3 days. So let me take a transaction which was error. You can see the response timeouts. So it gives how the browser performs. Say, for example, it was trying to connect to the specific APIs. If there is any team-specific gadget that was not loading, those response timeouts will be reported. And it also gives you the ability to track users based on the IP address. So, say for example, what has taken a long time, right? So, if you see this DOM, this is the document builder, right, for a specific web page to load. So, it is taking longer time. So, when a user is connect to a finesse browser, not that the server is not having this issue, rather any of these documents that is loading, or any JavaScript or any specific gadget, that is what is taking time. That view can be we can have this analyzed, and we can make sure the user performance is better. I mean, this gives you the multiple drill downs on specific errors, etc., where we can download and see each of these pages, how they report, how these APIs are connected, how the gadgets are getting connected, and if there are any issues specific to a third-party gadget that needs to be fixed, those data can be done via this monitoring. So that's all I had from a demo front. Like right now, I'll take you, some questions if you have any, and we'll go from there.
So Rahul, question. So among the use cases which originally AppD gave us, demo today covers all use cases, or any of the use cases for whatever reason were still not.
Yes, sir. So all the use cases are covered except from the redundancy from our lab system, like PG failovers, for example. Except that, all the use cases are covered. So, but we do have the dashboard view, which also covers that part.
Okay. And Setu, at a very high level, if we compare with Command Center, what are the main features which are available in Command Center but not in AppD? Any top 2 or 3 things which it's very important, it's a must, but it's not available in AppD.
Contact center side, I think we are sufficient, compared to command center. Only thing is, UC part is missing completely, related to call manager, voice gateway. All things are missing. So when you're positioning, like I said, right, we need to go with the mixed model, right? Advanced, any customer with the advanced monitoring, we can have these any basic proxies or any other one, plus this has an advanced feature. We can position that way. But if you want to replace completely command center with AppD, which will not be a right approach, because this is only having the contact center part, not the UC infra or any voice gateway part.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. And on the contact center side, there are a lot of features which even with Appian we are following up, and they said there is no future roadmap. But those features are available in AppD, whatever.
Yeah, so the application side, for example, see, the IBR performance metrics, this BART fetch, third-party integration from backend, that and all is covered here, right? The including performance of that each interfaces, which is a unique feature here. And moreover, the analytics module also here, which gives these some good functionalities. But I don't think this any other critical feature is missing here with respect to contact center. So we can go ahead with the contact center part very well with this AppD solution.
So one point I would like to highlight, Setu, the ticketing system integration is still not available with AppD.
That is
any
on
service
correct.
integration alerts.
Correct.
So you cannot integrate it with ServiceNow or something?
Not at this point, sir.
Not at.
Okay, so we asked them and they said it's not possible.
And also, Setu, that's the reason why we are not proposing this for Northern Trust India location, because it cannot see the CUCM.
Yeah, CUCM, not only India is totally different. See, India, the problem is customer wants to have a single monitoring platform for end-to-end solution, including networking, everything, right? So that's how they are looking for, not specific to contact center or specific to UC. 99% customer in India is looking like that. So they want something like SolarWinds, right? They want to have end-to-end, including firewall, quality of services, everything. That's the challenge in India.
The question was for the Northern Trust, for that India location, the 100 agents we are proposing, right? So we got a quote from other partner, correct?
Correct.
Is because of the CUCM, that's why we're not taking that.
Because of CUCM and that VMware monitoring and everything, right? Yeah.
So on the CUCM part also, Setu, we do have the server visibility, not specific services or how we have the phone registered.
Correct.
Those are not at this point.
Correct. But with the more phone monitoring, right, and the cube, dial pair monitoring, nothing is there, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So the summary is, I guess we can tell Cisco if some customer is interested in deploying AppD, Servion can provide that services integrated with UCCE. But right now, based on where AppD is with regard to all the limitations you just mentioned, Setu, that we cannot use it to replace our existing monitoring solution or even in new customers. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Can we also monitor third-party servers such as Calabrio or any of the variant application servers using this?
Yeah, Hari. So again, will be limited to the specific server module which I showed you, right? So we do have options to monitor those.
Only the base platform can be monitored, not the app level of.
No, those can also be monitored. So say for example, they have a .NET or a Java application that is running, right? Some of these processes, those level can be monitored. And it also gives you third-party database connection. So let me just show you this, what can be added. If you see, these are the monitoring available. So from the application end, right, it supports Java, .NET, Node.js, Python. Database, it has a lot of database options that can be added. So if say for example Variant or Calabrio is running with any of these specific applications, that can be monitored. So we do have a PG server, right? That some of these PG server services are running with C++, and today AppD doesn't have that capability to monitor end-to-end, more on the metrics level.
To answer your question, this is not SNMP based platform, right? This is completely, they are monitoring the specific layer 7 services, and that can be done. But like say for example, Variant or Calabrio missing recording, right? We cannot have that because that is specific to the their MIB and SNMP. That cannot be done here.
Okay.
So to keep this recording WebEx for some time at least, or just check with Selva in marketing how to download it, and if I want to send the recording to Cisco, it cannot be in our SharePoint portal because they cannot access it. See if you can put it in Dropbox or something else and send me the recording link. So I will send my final summary to AppD team and Cisco team as well, Setu and Rob.
Sure, sir.
I think definitely, customer is already involved in either implemented AppD and they want to leverage it for contact center. Let's assume. I think then there is a possibility for us to provide the services to do that integration and ensure all the use cases are working. But otherwise, for the time being, I think we'll have to put a hold on this. Thanks for you guys, but hopefully let's see what Cisco comes back with after I send the recording to them.
Okay.
I'll stop the recording.
Thanks.
Thank you.